Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7L today. Got some more RTA for you guys. Now this is another RTA clip. I was playing pretty late at night, wasn't recording a video or anything, and as you can see, I built a new character. And so let's go ahead and see what happens. Now, my opponent first picked DJB, and then I responded by first picking Mort. And then, yeah, I just kind of counterpicked my opponent from there. They had things like Spectre Tenebria, so I went for Bellion, went for A-Roz as kind of some damage mitigation, and went for Destina to kind of round out the team, give me some sustain. Now my opponent did counterpick me with Briar Witch, which is fine because our units are quite tanky, despite the fact that, you know, 3 of my units got defense broken here. Bellion, though, going for that big counter play, kind of expected. I do have Elbrus on her, and she is on counter set. So when there is an AoE coming out like that, it's pretty good. My Bellion gets absolutely demolished, though, and she doesn't come back, obviously, because even if I try to revive, Briar Witch exists, and can't really do anything about that. So the Rimuru goes for my Mort. He actually doesn't crit, which I think saved my Mort's life. He comes with the S2 here, also doesn't crit, which is fantastic. And yeah, we managed to live there, so Mort with his anti-crit buff actually coming in clutch, which is pretty good. Now, it's at this point where I was deciding whether or not I should S2 or S3. I lean towards the S3 because I really need to cleanse all the defense breaks off of my units. I know I can't get the revive, but Destina's S3 also just heals way more than her S2. I don't need the CR push here because, you know, DJB is going to be taking the turn. The other DPSs are pretty far behind my Mort and Roz, and so I felt pretty good here. Mort, unfortunately, is taking the turn, but Roz gets stunned, and it's kind of unfortunate. I really want to be able to use Roz's S2, or at least his S3, to put up the immunity or the defense buff. And unfortunately on the previous turn, I was not able to actually get that Briar Witch Iceria procced. So now I have to deal with another turn of Bryceria, and she has a chance to defense break here as well. She goes for it. She does get the defense break. I get the counter attack here, which is quite nice. Now, I'm pretty sure I can survive the Spectre, as long as she doesn't crit me, which she doesn't, thankfully. And the DJB is now going here. I have my Mort on his S2EE, which gives him the second turn of effect resistance, which is quite nice. He's on Elbrus, as you can see as well, he's just countering there. Unfortunately, my Roz is stunned, but I have to go ahead and push up the Roz. Wouldn't have cleansed the Mort anyway, because his defense break's only 1 turn. Which is quite nice. It means that after he takes his next turn, it'll be gone. I don't have to worry about it. So, Roz goes to the S3, heal up a little bit, defense buff on the Mort, finish off the Bryceria because she was low, and now that Mort has his buff, his rage or whatever it's called, he can ignore resistance. So, go for the Soul Burn just to get that 100% chance to proc, and there we go. Have the effect res buff on the whole team again. Rimuru does crit me, but I do get that nice counter into that defense broken Rimuru. He's on Proof of Valor, so it did matter. And now it's Spectre Tenebria. No souls to soul burn with, and no crit on the Mort either, which is quite nice. But see, this was the unfortunate part. DJB went for the blind, and now it's a 50-50 for my Mort on whether or not he hits. If he hits, he could defense break. Right, it's a 50% chance he could defense break, but no, I missed there. Thankfully, I have another turn for the anti-crit buff, so we're going to hit the DJB. No defense break again, but it's fine. My Destina is going to be able to heal Mort up a little bit, and, ooh, I think DJB pushes here. I don't see why he wouldn't. He should just push here and then go for the Spectre Tenebria's S1 onto the Mort. He has no Soul Burn. He doesn't have enough souls to Soul Burn, thanks to Bellion at the start of the match. If he had access to Soul Burn at any point, I think I would have lost here. But yeah, he goes for the Spectre's S1. He does not actually go for Mort. I think he's trying to go for Destina before she can get her revive and healing buff up, but the anti-crit buff working out quite well. Yeah, so we're just going to attack the DJB, and I believe we try to push up the Mort here. I think we go for the S2. Yep, there we go. Push up the Mort. Or no, actually no, I don't. Yeah, that's what happened. I was kind of scared that Destina was going to lose the anti-crit buff here, and that she would get destroyed by the Spectre, so I went for the safe play, and I actually healed up the Destina instead, and then we chipped down the DJB, and it's pretty much over at that point. Mort exerting dominance as a first pick unit. Okay, so we actually have another clip for you guys of me using the Great Mortelix here. Let's jump into this and see how it plays out. My opponent got first pick, went for the Spectre, and he didn't pre-ban Bellion, so I just went for her. Bellion pairs well with DDR, and I just wanted to use the Great Mortelix, so we slammed him in there. Lua's there as kind of a force ban, because he wasn't picking any fast units, so Lua was pretty good to help control the team. And SSB was the last pick because he picked 2 fire units, and he also had a Raz, who was also fire, so it just worked out in my favor. Right, so going into this fight here, A-Raz went first, but the good thing is there's no follow-up from his team, right? It doesn't matter who he brings. Sylvan Sage is a little too far back for the CR push to matter if she was the highest attack, but he brings the Milla, and my Great Mortelix goes. The Great Mortelix goes and pops off. Alright, here we go. Great Mortelix yet again. Taking the turn, gonna pop his S3. And we're starting to stack some of the Venoms onto our opponent. Unfortunately, the Raz and the Milim have their immunity buff from Raz's S2. But Stene's gonna pop that S3. Yep, hitting that Mort. We're gonna live, and we're gonna counter. Look at that. Got the defense break as well. Get the anti-crit buff up on the entire team. Spectre Tenebria defense broken is definitely gonna be going down here. So that's gonna be quite nice. I believe I was contemplating going for the S1, but the safe play is to go for the S3 so we can provoke the Sylva's Sage Vivian. Right, once she's provoked, there's no AoEs that's gonna be coming out. Milim's gonna go. Kind of like anticipating my Mort's gonna die here, and she's gonna slam her S3, but she goes for the DDR instead, which was a very questionable play. Now, he did do a ton of damage to DDR, but not quite enough to take him down. So Bellion counters, Seaside Bologna counters, and then DDR gets to go. I wanted to try to sleep the Raz, because he was going after the Mort. So there we go, we got that sleep there. Okay, the Vivian proccing the Mort proccing the Chatty, but now I think we just get to finish everything else off, because Seaside Bologna gets to slam in S3. Right, and there we go. Pretty nice, right? So the Mort gets to attack with the S1. He has a speed buff, so look how fast he is. He just laps that Milim right there. DDR unable to do anything because he has immunity. Mort taking another turn. But because of the evasion on the Milim, we weren't able to finish her off. And then Bellion's able to clean things up. So there you go. Very, very nice. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more Epic 7 content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.